sitting on brush cleaner. Awesome. All right. I'm just going to pull it up here because that's the
We're
only way I can
on
see the
in
chat.
theory.
All right. Okay. Yeah, it looks good on there. All right. So, as I understand, we're talking politics. Is that it?
Yeah, maybe, right?
Right. What else are we talking about?
Oh man, I can really hear you.
Oh yeah. Fuck. That sucks.
I wish I understood this. Like when me and my friend Jessica do it, it we never have issues like this. But I had problems with my brother.
Yeah. Um. Here, let's pull this. I don't want to pull it close. Is the only problem because then it's. I mean, the camera's not going to catch too much. Hey Monty, how's it going, buddy? Mine's
Montoya, can
low.
you hear me but not Mitch very well? Is that what you're hearing?
Yeah. So on my end. Here, let me. You know what? Let me turn the fan off. That might be making it worse. Okay. Is that any better? Oh, you're just.
Yeah, they can hear me, but we can't hear you very well.
Huh. I got no idea what the problem is then. That's just a giant pain in the ass then. I have to just fucking yell the whole time then.
I mean, right there when you just said that, I could kind of hear you a little bit better. You know, whatever's going on.
Okay. I think it's that the phone's a little bit further away from me than usual because I had to do the horizontal thing,
Right.
and yeah, and I guess it's just really sensitive. So, like if I back up like a foot, it gets real quiet. I guess. So that's awesome. Oh well. Hey, okay. Hey, Amina, how's it going? Yeah, it's weird. I probably shouldn't shout out everybody when we're actually doing this
You'll be screaming into the phone the entire time for you, huh?
constantly. Oh yeah, that's how we wanted this to go, right?
That's the preferred.
Oh yeah. So what are you working on today?
Um, Nothing specific. I don't have anything that specifically needs to be done in terms of something that needs to be drawn. So I was just going to kind of do a just a random sketch of a character from the book I'm doing, just to kind of just
All
have
right.
something to fart around with.
Yeah, for sure. Is that the Youngblood parody you were working on?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it's not. I guess it is. It's not young blood exactly. It's more of the blood strike, but ultimately it's just all those characters and combined with Liefeld's X Force. Um, you know,
Yeah.
the main
Yeah, I saw
characters
the
are
X Force
parodies
ones.
of Cable and Deadpool, really.
All right. Yeah, I mean, yeah. That'll maximize the Liefeld effect on it.
Yeah.
I don't know about this cover. I'm like redoing the cover to issue one, and like what I came up with is like, yeah, it's like a fine cover. It's like, is this like extreme enough though? I don't know.
I was actually rereading those just a little bit before we got going on. I was just wanted to refamiliarize myself because I definitely would like to talk about those more. And I was just like, man, these things are so good. But
I'm, I'm glad you enjoyed them, man.
yeah, I know you talked about wanting to redraw them. What's funny is, like I said, I was re-listening to our live stream from a year ago,
Yeah.
and we were having that same conversation then too. You were like, "Eh, you might want to redraw issue one," and we had extensive conversation about, if we get stuck in that, we end up redrawing everything all the time.
Okay, well, at least I'm consistent.
We are.
Yeah. No, I know, and that's what everybody brings up is just like you don't want to get started down that road.
Yeah.
Like because then you just like because like if you redraw issue one, like what makes you think issue two is gonna be like no that one's fine, right?
Hey, you want to hear something just kind of something interesting that happened to me about an hour and a half ago? Um,
Oh sure.
do you know do you recognize the name from old Image Comics from Extreme and I think maybe Top Cow? Cedric Nocon?
Yeah, Inker.
You know that name?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he still hangs out with Rob quite a bit actually.
Well, I don't know because he sent me a message. I sent him a friend request on Facebook,
Yeah.
and he sent me a message. He said, "Hey, FYI, I just want to let you know that I watch your YouTube channel. I really like all the Liefeld videos. I share them with some of the former Extreme Studio guys whose Liefeld is banned, and they all appreciate them. Keep up the good
Oh
work."
shit. I guess he's not in close with him anymore then. Yeah, I thought he
I
was.
get, yeah, and I hope it's I was like, oh man, I would love to know like who, right?
Yeah, no kidding. Man, that's wild.
Yeah, so I sent him. I said, dude, thank you. I appreciate that. I was like, I get worried that somehow, sometime, maybe somebody in the professional world will look at my stuff and listen to me like having one of my angry rants about how crappy their art is, and like I'll actually offend somebody or piss someone off, you
Yeah, or
know.
get blacklisted or something. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not worried about that. I don't want to like hurt anybody's feelings because I'm talking about their art. I try to be careful and be like, I'm just talking about the art, not the person. But I'm like, I'm not worried about anything because no one has anything to threaten me with because I don't have anything they
No,
can take from me.
no, not at this point. Yeah. Gotcha.
But I don't mean anything personal. And so I'm like, if I'm like, God damn, this person just a cheap copy imitator of Liefeld's work or Jim Lee's work or Silvestri's work. And I've always been worried that somebody would be like, guy, what the hell? You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. No, I know how that feels. Yeah. I have had that thought too myself. Nobody's reached out or anything, so I guess we must be doing all right so far.
It was just kind of nice for him to just reach out and be like, hey, I appreciate your stuff and I've done this too. And so I'm like, oh, well, maybe there's a
That's wild,
silent
man.
segment that doesn't want to make their presence known. They're like, yeah, at least somebody's saying some of the stuff we think because, some of these other guys do have skin in the game and they don't want to piss off
Yeah.
Dragon.
No, for sure. I've actually talked to a couple of people before, and like I don't know, like hey, do you want to do like a joint review or something like that? And like at least one guy was like, no, because like I'm trying to get in, and I don't want to be seen as
Right.
saying the wrong thing. And it's like, okay, yeah, I got you. That's no problem.
Yeah.
I'll say the dumb things. You do the drawing. We'll both be good.
Hey, Mike McMahon. Yeah, I know that you guys. I kind of know that you guys know each other. I saw on some of um, the pages that he's posted that you guys have kind of worked together. Mike McMahon there in the chat with Cedric. So that was kind of cool. I saw that.
Yeah, I feel like Mike knows a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think he was saying he was like hanging out with not Ron Garney, the other Ron. Shit, I forget the name. Right, Wagner, one of the two. back in the '90s or something. It's like, fuck, all right, that's a bit beyond my experience. Yeah, see, I think this is too standard comic book cover, really. I don't know. I'll finish it anyway, just because I already penciled the fucking thing. But
Hassan says trash superheroes. I don't know what that's supposed to be in reference to, but
all right.
okay. So this is a redraw of cover one for your book, you were saying?
That was the idea. Again, I'm not for sure if this is what I want to go with, but
You'll finish it and decide if you want to use it for that.
well, probably what'll happen is I'll finish it and then go, you know what, I got a better idea, and then start that instead. That seems like a good idea. Just like endlessly do that shit, and in the meantime, nothing gets published. I think that's the best way to go.
Yeah, I know what that's like.
Well, you put out all your trades, right? The graphic novels, right?
I'm sorry,
Or
what's
at
that?
least are you taking them to? You made a bunch of graphic novels on Masters End, right?
Right.
I think I remember. I think I remember you taking them to cons anyway.
What was the question?
Oh, was there a question?
Oh, you were just
I think I was just confirming. You've done like graphic novels and shit,
yeah,
right?
well, yeah. I've printed up copies of my Masters End fan comic, and I do take them to the local comic convention um,
Yeah.
to have copies. And I have had there was like 3 or 4 people who would come every year looking for the next one. You're like, oh my god, I can't wait! You got the next one? I'm like, yeah, actually, I do. So
That's cool.
I have done that. This year, I'm
Well,
not going, but go back again next year.
I'm gonna say OK can use his discretion here. I haven't been able to get a good look at what's going on in the chat, but it may be getting a little feisty in there.
Yeah, there's a guy saying that Goku would body slam all of the superheroes that we're drawing, and uh, kind of giving a little
Sure.
attitude about our silly stuff. Sounds like a
I mean, sure. Doesn't he
yeah,
do like
like
fucking magic and shit? None of my guys do magic, so I guess he's right.
like that it becomes like a dick measuring contest over who's got the favorite
Yeah.
character property.
It's
Like
like
no,
it's like okay, I'm just drawing some silly shit, man.
yeah, like it's not that serious. And
I'm
then
pretty sure they couldn't beat up anybody because they just exist on this one piece of paper.
when I was rewatching our previous stream, I remember I was laughing again because I asked you to kind of like, what's your elevator pitch or basic description of what you're doing? And God, I even listened to it like 2 or 3 times, so I'd like try to commit it to memory, but then I'm still going to butcher it. But you said it's like, what if these were like Image comic superheroes but dumber?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, that's basically the comic.
And I laughed out loud on our stream from a year ago, and I'm still like, dude, that should be like on the cover in a way, or like a
Well, I mean,
tag.
you've read it now. You've read it now, so you know, right?
Oh, I know. It's so good. Uh,
Yeah, that's.
yeah,
I mean, like so much of that is just like, I don't know. Like I don't know. The Image comics were kind of dumb. A lot of them, and I'm okay with them being dumb. Let's see if we can make
yeah.
essentially.
And that's kind of what my thing that I'm doing now is, where I'm
Yeah,
just like the thing that kind of just gets me is that so many of those books, and I guess I don't mean this as like I'm not trying to sound rude to the creatives, but they wrote these as if they were making like such seriously like serious fiction. Like
Yeah, well,
they feel like
I get
it's
the feeling. I was gonna say
what's
I get
that?
the feeling like Rob really kind of promoted that. Like Rob Liefeld really kind of promoted that feeling.
Yeah. Like we're making like high quality, like stuff that will be remembered for the ages. And then you go back and look at it, you're like, no.
No,
But if it was
no
done
one will
with like
remember this ever. You know.
a sense of humor or a sense of levity, it would have probably worked better. And so that's what I was kind of trying to do with mine. And that's what like you're doing with yours. And because that's what you've done with yours, it's so much more entertaining.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, that's kind of what I'm going for. Yeah, yeah, um, yeah. The actual just drawing big dudes, like it's fun for a little while, but like if you don't have anything in addition to that, it gets old kind of quick. So you better have something on top of it.
You've worked in humor so well. That's the thing that I get worried about on my own is like comedy is hard.
Yeah.
And
No, I know. I have no idea if my stuff is gonna be funny to anybody else. So it's just like, fuck it, just make stuff I think that I will make me laugh,
yeah.
and I'll
Well, I
you know
wasn't joking when I
let
was
other people
telling
figure it
you.
out.
I wasn't joking when I was saying to you that I was reading it at my job because I'd read the first issue the night before I went to bed and I was enjoying it. And then I'm like, I gotta shut my eyes and go to sleep. So the next morning I get to work, I sit down, I'm kind of left alone for a big stretch of time. So I just busted out the PDFs that you sent me. I started reading
Yeah.
them. And like 5 or 6 separate times, I stopped and sat the phone down and laughed out loud with tears in my eyes. And I'm not exaggerating. And I'm not laughing at it. I'm laughing with it because it's so funny.
Yeah. Thanks,
And
man.
I was just like, all right,
That's
he
awesome.
got me.
That's awesome to hear, by the way.
Yeah, no. I was like, well, and the first time I was like, all right, he got me once. But then it was again.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, there's probably not going to be another joke that's going to get me, but it got me again and again. I was like, all right, this is my new favorite comic.
And I mean, I feel like part of it is probably that there's I don't know. I mean, like it does rely a bit on like references and shit. So if you're our age group, I feel like it probably hits a little bit different than like if kids are reading it. I
Yeah,
don't know. I could be
yeah,
wrong about that.
and that's something that I had in mind that I was thinking of because it applies to mine too. This stuff that I'm doing, and then your thing, I think as well is like it only works if you're familiar specifically with the '90s silliness. If you hand this to someone who's never read any comics, they might go, "What?" I mean, I see you're trying to be funny, but I don't like. No one would get it unless
Yeah.
you grew up with that stuff. And then, you know, it's kind of like I feel like it's similar to like Alan Moore's Watchmen. It doesn't hit how serious and how deconstructing he is of the superhero genre if you weren't familiar with the tropes of comics before it. If you read it fresh, having never read a comic in your life, you won't get it.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like that.
Not to the
So
degree he wants you to. Yeah.
yeah, but I just I know I've said it. I've texted you, and I've on one of my live streams you joined me, and I've said it. But like I'm not kidding when I say I love your comic, and I want to see it successful because holy shit, is it entertaining? I could sit here like, where did you get the name for like Hawkstab's first name?
Yeah, that was that's one of those things that just kind of got tossed off because it was just like I was okay. What would a normal image name be? It's okay, either like Elijah or Ezekiel. So it's okay. Well, if I like and then like you combine those, you get Ecclesiastes somehow.
Right now,
Like you don't, but
really
like sure,
describe it.
why not?
Isn't Ecclesiastes a book in the Bible?
It is, yeah.
I thought so. I'm like, I'm not a religious guy exactly, but I'm like, but when he said that, I don't know if it was issue 2 or 3, because he was just Hawkstab, which is like a perfect, ridiculous 90s era name. But then out
Yeah.
of the blue, he just announces his full name. He's like, I am Ecclesiastes Hawkstab. And I laughed out loud. It's so perfect.
Oh, good. Oh, that's awesome. I
So
think when I originally came up with it, it was like, isn't that like a Greek philosopher or something? And I looked it up, it's like, no, it very definitely is not. But it's still funny, so that's staying in.
yeah. Oh god, it's so perfect, dude. And then I know we talked about it, but when Huckstead's walking down the tunnel and he's gonna go visit the new girl,
Yeah.
and he's like having an out loud conversation with himself about how the conversation's gonna go, trying to work up the best way to talk to a girl.
Uh huh.
Oh my god.
Yeah, nobody will relate to that, right?
Oh my god. It's so perfect.
Yeah, I was having fun with the coming up with like the just how he's tripping over his words and that,
Yeah.
like doubling back and repeating himself and everything. Yeah.
And the big strong guy, his name is Hard with two D's.
Uh huh. Uh huh. Well, you got to have a guy with the name with two consonants, right?
Right.
Like there was like handgun with two N's in the pact. The pact is big. It's very formative for me.
Um, but yeah, maybe my favorite again, you don't mind me talking, like I don't want to be spoiling anything. You don't want to be
Oh no, hey,
there
that's
like
that's fine. I
okay.
mean, well, we a couple dozen people on here. I'm fine with whatever.
I mean, that's kind of how I feel, but it's not my thing. I just want to make sure before I start asking questions or bringing things up, I'm not
Yeah,
like,
for sure, man.
crossing a line. Um,
No, no, for sure.
Shocula. Sorry, one of my buddies, Shocula, showed up. I put up on my Discord that everyone has to join the live stream or I'll ban everybody.
Yeah, I saw that.
Um,
That's good there. That's loyalty. I appreciate
yeah,
that.
I'm like, if you better shut up. Um, God, what the fuck was I gonna say? Um,
Something about spoilers. I'm not. I didn't know where you're going yet.
I completely lost track of what specific thing I was gonna say, but
That's fair. Sheldon's saying I don't do practice speeches before talking to ladies. I just speak straight from my awkward, misunderstood comedic self. Yeah, that's you got more self confidence than Hawkstap. At least in the field.
and
Hawkstap's okay.
I didn't think at first I was gonna like. I mean, there's the character Popo, right?
Yeah,
The guy who's like the angry vigilante Punisher type, and I was like, all right,
he's like every lone wolf stereotype you can think of.
right, and I was like, all right, this is probably going to be the guy I'm going to be least interested in. But oh my God, do you make him by far, in a way, the most interesting with where you take it? I was like, the conversation with the lizards is like one of the most
Yeah,
perfectly constructed scenes of like action comics, drama, and comedy I've ever read.
let's put it up there. All right, I'll take that.
Especially when they're the lizards who speak so eloquently are like, we can't
Yep.
understand this. Like, it's not making sense. So dumb down the translator.
Yeah.
And so they keep notching it down. And so then the lizards, instead of sounding like eloquent, smart creatures, they sound like dumb lizard monsters.
Well, I mean that's where it's gonna have to go eventually, right? That's the stereotype for those kind of interrogations.
Yes. But I love how you take the concept and flipped it on its head perfectly.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, no, I enjoyed that one myself. Yeah, that was.
And
I'm pretty sure I went through a few drafts of that long ass flowery speech that the captain goes through.
maybe my favorite line in the entire thing is when Popo is, I can't remember the exact dialogue, but he's going on this like where he come from, where he was like, I survived on the something something of this, and I was raised on the streets of this, that, like all the most cliche shit. And then it just cuts to the lizard creatures who are listening in shock, and they just go, that not happen?
Yeah. Nope.
It's the best line. Like, I laughed so hard how they're just like, "You no, that didn't happen." So perfect, dude.
Oh, thanks, man.
Oh, so
Yeah, I gotta get back to writing. I haven't written anything new in like I don't know. I think since I started the new issue, and I still didn't finish writing the one I'm working on. I'm basically working Marvel method at this point.
that's basically how I do mine too.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. You know, the actual comics are fun to draw. At least I have no idea if I'm going to be able to, make them fun to read too. But I guess we'll find out.
Oh, well, I mean, I feel like having read 4 issues of your thing, you have a very naturalistic, like, your storytelling is very clear. The setups and payoff work perfectly. I feel like you have a good ear for dialogue too. Like, it didn't feel like forced bullshit. Like, we're trying to write eloquently in a way that I don't know how to actually speak or write, but it
Yeah.
just all worked, dude. Um,
Oh, good.
so I was like, damn, this is um Sheldon says in the chat, Rob is a great salesman for you. I'm sold. Where do I buy this book?
I was just reading that. Yeah. Right now, you go to my Patreon. So that the link is in the description on this one. But now I'm thinking about putting it on. I was saying to the guys, I'm thinking of at least putting it on Webtoon or the other one, OK Comics was talking about. I think it's like Galaxy Comics or some shit like that. Galaxy Company. I don't know the online sites very well at all, but
Yeah, I don't know him either.
yeah. But I figure, like they're, I believe they're free sites, so it's like it's not gonna get me any money, but unless there's anything but there's money by clicks, which I can't imagine would be much. But
Yeah, I tried the
that
webtoons.
gets some eyes on it at least.
I put the first issue of my Master's End up on there, and I wasn't a fan of the format or how it worked out, and I abandoned it like immediately.
I've heard some people who didn't seem to like it too much. I don't know how deep into it they were or anything, but I think I've been a little hesitant about it because of that.
But yeah, the
You been a
trick
little
is getting
hesitant?
people's eyes on a thing, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the idea. I figure it's like make issue 1 freely available, and then maybe go Kickstarter on issue 2 or something.
Yeah. Also, you got a successful YouTube channel. We have eyes on it, and you know, um, that's a big help, I
Yeah,
would
thank you. Yeah.
imagine. I mean, that's what I'm banking on from mine.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, no, I think it's good at least in that we're not starting from zero. Yeah.
Yeah, because you just crossed 3,000 just in the last couple days, right? I was watching your video this morning on the Sam Keith stuff.
The Sam Keith one. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Thank you. I saw you're getting close to 7, eh?
Yeah, about I don't know
That's fucking
60
nuts, man.
away.
Anybody who
But
hasn't subscribed to Rob should do so now, so he hits 7,000 before the stream's over.
yeah, right. I definitely
You
like
bump after the streams?
combined efforts. Like, I'm happy to like at any time whenever you put something together, like throw out information to anybody about whatever you decide to put out, because rising tides and all that stuff that they say, like,
Yeah.
your stuff when
Yeah, for
anything
sure.
makes me laugh that much, and again, not laughing at it like I laugh at a Rob Liefeld comic, but like laughing with the
Okay.
humor. Like, this is so great. Like, I want everyone to see this.
That's awesome, man. That works for me.
Yeah, oh yeah. Kind of, we all throw each other a bone and just kind of like, let's get everyone looking at this stuff.
Absolutely, man. Interesting. Let's see if I can do this standing up.
You have put pressure on me though. Now I feel like I really, now I have performance anxiety because I'm like,
For
well, with how much fun I had reading your book, I'm like, that's what I want the reaction that I had to yours. That's what I hope people have to mine. And I'm like, oh God, now I'm like, ugh, I got a standard I gotta hold myself to because this is good. It's entertaining, dude. Like I'm worried about my stupid comedy. Like I have jokes that I've got kind of figured out for it, and I'm like, I think it's funny, but is it? I don't know. I guess we'll
Yeah,
see.
well, I was thinking the same thing. So I mean, I'm sure it's good. I gotta check yours out someday. But I mean, for like in terms of comparing, I mean, like maybe like 10 people have read it, so it's I don't know, not exactly a beloved work exactly, you know. I
Well,
think you're all right.
you got to have it ready and put together, and I get it. You want to show some people to kind of get feedback on what they think, but
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I think you're ready to go as far as whenever you're ready to put together a thing. Like, and again, you got not an inconsequential start. Like, you got 4 completed issues and working on 5, right?
Yeah, this is number 5 I'm working on now, and have an idea at least where 6 is gonna go. So and that'll be the end of the arc. So that's cool.
I'm sorry, what did you say? Issue 6 be the end?
I have an idea where 6 is gonna go at least. So and that'll be the end of the arc.
Right.
So that'll be kind of amazing to actually get there. I've had ideas
Oh,
about what to do with it for a while, and it's like, oh shit, now I gotta actually draw those.
yeah, I know what that's like. I had so
Yeah.
many scenes like with my Master Zen book where I was like, I can't wait to get to this scene to draw. And I've had it in my head for years and years. And then at some point I was like finally actually sitting down to actually draw it. And now it's in the rear view mirror like a year ago. And I look back and I'm like, man, I was so excited to draw that particular thing. And, maybe it didn't quite come out as good as I hoped it would be just because of my lack of ability to get out of my head onto
Sure.
paper when I
Okay.
want it, but at least it's there. I feel like I at least come close.
Yeah. Well, all you can do is like give it your best shot, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what else can the person do? And again, we were talking about this. I was just re-listening to it in our last conversation where we were talking about like a person can't get stuck in like it's not good enough yet, so I'm not going to do it. It was like, well, if you don't do it, you'll never. If it's in your head, it's always going to be either too perfect or not good enough. Just put it down. Just do it, and then you get better the next time.
Yep. Shit, we were saying some smart shit last time. And hey, brain, how's it going, man? That's more you just don't care about anything other than the damn. All right. Just reading OK's critique of Webtoon there.
Sheldon's asking how we met. You're looking at it, guys, right online.
Yeah, pretty much. We do almost the exact same kind of thing on YouTube.
We
That's
really
about
do.
it. Started around the same time. Like it's kind of hard not to be aware of each other at this point. I think.
I think I saw some guy say that they thought we were the same person.
Yeah, I've seen that a couple times.
And so I think I made a joke like, "Oh my god, we should like." Oh, I think I said we should do a live stream where we're both drawing the same character in the same pose,
Yeah.
or something like that, or I don't know, just something to confuse people. Not. I don't really mean it, but
We could
like
do
just
that,
like.
and then maybe if we could do that, and then maybe like flip the camera halfway through the stream, I think that would be ideal.
Oh my god, I thought it would be fun. Again, a thing that's just it's funny to like think like if you did it, that would be funny, but you wouldn't actually do it. But I'm like, what if we like got together and worked out like, okay, let's review the same comic. and release it on the same day and write a script where we say the exact same words.
Oh God.
It made me laugh. Like that would be like ridiculous, but I'm just like, wouldn't that be funny if people are like, what the what?
What kind of bizarro world is this? Yeah. Wouldn't be that hard. I think we have similar opinions on a lot of books.
Mostly. I think I give life a microscopic a little bit more grace here and there. I think
I
than
kind of
you.
try to. I don't know. Like I always go into a Liefeld thing going, maybe this time will be like I'm like an abused spouse where it's maybe this time will be different. Maybe he's learned something, and every time not so much.
I also think that I'm a little bit more less frustrated by some of Jim Lee's stuff. I've seen some of your stuff where you're just like, this is garbage. And I was like, oh, I kind of like it.
Oh, I hope I never said that. I think I've said a few times that he's not trying very hard, and I think that's probably fair.
I mean, I'm being a little exaggerated, but like, I think it was like X-Men number 4 or 5, where you're like, this is garbage. This is,
Oh, I might have said okay then.
you're like, all right,
Oh yeah.
yeah, all right, maybe that one. And I can't really deny the points you make. I'm just like, I think it was that bad. But then I'm like, but you make a point. I'm like, I mean, yeah, that's
Well, it's tough because I've said before, Jim Lee was my guy, right? So it's like I hold him to the problem is I hold him to kind of a high regard. Where
yeah.
he's got like a super high bar that he has to clear for me. Like my first Jim Lee comic was Uncanny 275, which
Oh
was
yeah.
probably the best comic he ever drew.
Right.
You know, so it's like okay, now all you got to do is just keep making comics like that, and I'll be happy. And it's like, well, okay, but he can't really do that. Like he's never actually matched that. So
Yeah, I can't deny that.
yeah,
That whole
oh,
uncanny run is just
yeah,
the best.
it's pretty great. I'm working up to it on my channel. I took the long way around through fucking like I'm still in the mid Sylvestries, but I
Really
want to
kind
get
of
back to
in the same way. Like I've got a whole pile of. I actually got a collection of a whole pile of like old Silvestri X-Men issues right before he was kind of done and Jim Lee come along, and I haven't quite touched on them yet. And then I've got the whole pile of most of the Uncanny X-Men that he's done, that Jim Lee's done, and I'm like, I'll get to those. I kind of set them aside because I'm like, this is stuff people will want to see, so I don't want to burn through it too fast. But then it's been like, man, the
yeah
last time I looked at one of those was like a year ago.
yeah I did I like a year and a half, maybe even 2 years ago. I did like 274 through 278, so like the end of the Jim Lee run.
Right.
And I was like, because 275 was a huge deal for me. And the only problem is that I didn't know what was leading up to that. So I'm like, fine, I'll start back in around issue 168, and I'll just work forward slowly.
Right.
Yeah, can't wrap my brain around just being stuck in the middle of a run and not knowing what's happening. Unfortunately, like pretty much every issue in the Claremont run.
Do you ever put up a video thinking people will like this and just shocked when no one watches it?
Yeah, I've had a few times, man.
Like, and I know every time I put up a video of one of my favorite comics, like three of my favorite series ever never get views, and that's or mostly it's Tom Strong, it's Planetary, and it's Savage Dragon.
Yeah,
And no one watches those shits, especially the Tom Strong stuff. And I'm like, I don't know how else to sell it more. I'm like, I love these things. They're so good. And it gets like 200 views. I'm like, then somebody watches a all-star Batman with Jim Lee, and it's like, oh, there's 1,000 views. I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah.
The, I guess it's kind of like the case of people like the bad stuff and listening to people rant on the bad stuff, but like negative content sells better than positive content in a way.
I mean, it does. There's no denying it, right?
Yeah.
If I say something's god awful, chances are it's going to get more views than if I say it's awesome.
And I'm like, I want people to see the stuff that I think is brilliant so they can at least, give it a shot. You might enjoy the hell out of this, but can't control everything.
And I mean, there's just the fact that the words Liefeld or Jim Lee will always make a video more watchable, right?
Yes, I think McFarlane kind of
Not for me. I mean,
not for
I
you.
put one out a couple of days ago for Spider-Man 13,
Right.
and that got a little bit because I was shitting on him in the title, I think.
Oh yeah, I remember. And I was like, I remember liking this, but again, I think it's just I kind of like the art. But again, the story is
Well, the art,
McFarlane. I'm like, yeah.
there is nothing wrong with the art whatsoever.
Right.
You know,
The end. That's all I can say.
yeah, he's a pretty piss poor writer, but I can't say anything bad about his artistic like instincts. And it seems to be that's what it is because I don't think he really like had a ton of structure, or, like like knows a whole lot about fundamentals. I don't know. It feels like he just kind of goes.
Right. And somehow it works, But like you were saying in that video, you can kind of tell I mean, this could happen to a lot of artists, but you can kind of tell when he cares and when he doesn't care.
Oh yeah, I think he stopped caring as soon as he had just enough care to finish Spawn #1, and then he was out. I don't know.
Yeah.
The
And
guy
even
was
my favorite
a
artists, like I
well.
love Mark Silvestri forever, but
Yeah.
sometimes some of his stuff, you can tell he's just like crapping it out. But the thing that's interesting about Silvestri crapping out something is like it's still better than most people's best work.
Well, it's still massively skilled, right?
Oh, he can
Like
do
he's
anything.
like absolutely, and like I don't know, just his grasp of like just all those fundamentals is kind of like you can't really say anything about it.
Yeah.
So like I think the his late Wolverine run, he's not trying very hard. I think he got pretty sick of that book by the end of it. But it still looks better than a lot of the shit that Marvel was putting out at the time.
Yeah. And I noticed with Silvestri, the thing that I like the most is that, like, of course, he can give anybody a run for their money with like the big cool pages, like the big muscly guy fighting the big robotic monster or the hot babe. But then when you have to switch over to like, this is a cabin in the woods, this is an old woman and an old man and a dog with trees and clouds and a kitchen, and he can draw it flawlessly. Like he can do the boring shit and it looks good. That's where I'm like, this is why the guy's the master.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's interesting. You think about like who influences are, right? Like a lot of the guys who came in, like that we follow, they were big into. Well, there's a bunch of guys who were like Rob Liefeld clones for one thing. If they could draw someone like Rob Liefeld, he was going to hire them for Extreme or Maximum or Awesome or whichever. And you look at like somebody like Mark Silvestri when he came in and his John Buscema.
Oh yeah,
It's like
yeah.
there's a bit of a difference. And it's like, did he match him? It's like, kinda, I think. I still think his Mark Silvestri's Wolverine run is like one of the best comics Marvel ever put out. The Larry Hama stuff.
Yeah, I keep right next to my desk. I just had to move a few comics, but right here, I keep this right by my desk at all times is the essentials, and it's the black and white with the Dan Green inks.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just
So yeah,
constantly in a state of like, this is So good.
That stuff's wild too, because they're going like him and Dan Green had some kind of synergy where they were just churning pages out, and they all look great.
Yeah, I've said often, I wish beyond, I wish I could see what Silvestri's pencils looked like before he handed them off to Dan Green, because I would love to know just what he gave and what Dan Green did. You know,
Yeah, I imagine they're pretty sketchy.
that's kind of what I think. But there's everything you need to know, and then Dan Green was just good enough to know how to fill in quickly because he was able to keep up the pace because they were putting these out pretty regularly.
Oh, well, I mean, there's a while there where they're going bi-monthly, right? Or
Yeah,
bi-weekly rather.
yeah.
And they weren't doing all of them, but they were doing. There was a few times they did back-to-backs where they're doing two comics in a month.
Yeah, and Silvestri knows how to pump out the pages, and yeah, I oh, it's
I
like
think
I'm sure
that's
you know what it's like. It's inspiring, but then it's also frustrating.
yep. So well, that's one way to draw. I will never figure out, but hey.
Right. Like I'll never be that good. So what am I even trying to do? I don't know if I've missed anything in the chat. I have to keep my ear right down to the microphone on my phone to be able to make
Yeah,
sure
I gotta try to incline my head and try and direct my voice at the phone as much as I can, so I'm not just completely lost here. So every once in a while, I kind of peek over and see what's going on in the chat. But
somebody says, "Oh snap, this like a deathmate comic." One of my favorite
yeah,
videos that I
premise.
ever did was a deathmate. I think it was deathmate gold with my brother, and we ended the video by ripping it to shreds, like literally, physically tearing it to pieces.
Yeah, that was as pointless as the image books, and only it didn't look as good.
Yeah, even at least the image ones kind of like sort of were well drawn. The Deathmate Black that had like
Black
Silvestri and
wasn't
Gimli
bad.
and
That had
Picasso, and there
I
was at
think
least
Scott Campbell's in there.
yeah, yeah,
Scott Clark got a bunch of pages, and he was trying.
yes. I never did get the like the Liefeld one. I've never actually seen it in person. And then I got a hold of some of the Valiant ones, and I know a lot of people just love Valiant comics, but I couldn't get past how
Yeah,
boring the art was. And I know that's blasphemy to some people.
yeah. No, I've done a few Valiant videos, and some people watch them, not a ton, but it's tough finding ones like I did the ones with the like I did like Turok and Exo number 0. So you get like Bart Masada. So that's something.
Yeah, oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah. But then after that, like I was also doing like Magnus Robot Fighter by Don Perlin and was it like Eternal Warrior? I don't even remember who drew Eternal Warrior. It wasn't particularly exciting, I'll tell you that. but I but I talked about it for 20 minutes, so that's all that's important.
Well, I remember I kept hearing like a lot of artists I was late to the game on, and I kept hearing a lot of people talk about how amazing Barry Windsor Smith was. And then I'm like, I kept seeing his work crop up in these Valiant books, and I'm like, this
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, it makes my
But then I
color
finally
guy. Yeah.
kept the good stuff in like the Weapon X stuff, and I'm like, oh, this is the same guy. I
Yep.
think he's cashing a paycheck on some of these.
and turned out that it was the Marvel ones.
Well, I didn't understand the appeal on some of the, like, was it Archer and Armstrong? And again, I can't speak on it too much
Yeah.
because I only saw a few pages and some covers, but I'm like, this isn't interesting. So I didn't.
No, and I read that I read number 0 and number 1 of that. I don't exactly remember what happened, but and I'm pretty sure he wrote it too. And yeah, no, it's not thrilling stuff.
So for the longest time, I'm like, why does everyone love this Barry Windsor Smith? But then I would start catching his black and white artwork, and I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
like on again on like the Wolverine, the Weapon X stuff, and like, oh wait, okay, wait a minute, I think I'm getting it. I guess I couldn't understand a concept where an artist would be incredible one place and then like the next month be absolute dog shit somewhere else. Like, wouldn't they be
Yeah.
just as good all the time?
And if yeah, if you hear about what Barry Windsor Smith said at the time, he was into the Valiant stuff because he was that was about like artistic expression for him, and that was the kind of stuff he came up with.
Wow.
Yeah. I think with Weapon X, it was more that he was exploring that particular style, and like they gave him complete freedom, right? Oh, hey, Ogre Prime, thanks very much, man. I didn't even shit, I didn't see that. I have no idea when that happened. Oh, that was just now.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's a good one. Thank you very much. What do you think of Mark Bagley? What do you think of Mark Bagley?
Me,
Sure.
um, I it took me a minute to learn to appreciate him. I didn't think
Yeah.
he was very special when I first kind of ran into his stuff. I've kind of felt like he was a, this is going to sound really bad, but like a poor version of Eric Larson.
Well, it's tough because he was following Eric Larson, right?
Yeah.
On Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah. And so I didn't dislike him, but I wasn't wowed. But I did pick up Ultimate Spider-Man. And as it went on, I just learned to love the guy because he's consistent, and it's dynamic. And then I just started paying attention, and I'm like, okay, this guy's actually really talented. He's really good. I It just took me a minute to get on board, but once I saw it, and this is a problem I have. I have blinders on often, and I just don't see a thing until something just catches me, and then I'm like, oh wait, this person's amazing. And then I go back and look at their past works. I'm like, he's always been amazing. How did I not know? Because I'm dumb.
I've never been a big Mark Bagley fan. He is solid for sure, and I mean he was the Marvel workhorse for years, from what I understand.
Oh yeah.
Where he was the guy that they could always,
Good straight.
they could always count on getting pages from him.
Yeah, that Ultimate Spider-Man, 100 straight issues, no fill-ins.
That's kind of crazy. That's not something you really see.
Yeah, you never see that. You're lucky if a high-profile artist is like, I did 4 issues. It was a major investment of my time. I'm like,
Uh-huh. I had
sure.
to step away from my commissions.
Yeah, yeah, right.
My favorite thing about Mark Bagley by far is the way he got into comics. You know that one, right?
Um, I'm not. Just remind me. Put out. I'll see if it sounds familiar.
The Marvel tryout book
Absolutely.
that came out in like, yeah, he was the winner of the first one of those.
The first one, huh?
Yeah, in like 1984, 85, something like that.
Really?
And he
I
was
was
working
going
at
to
like,
say, I
oh,
thought it was a Marvel tryout thing, but I wasn't for sure.
yeah, I mean, that's a, that sounds ridiculous. Who actually wins something like the Marvel tryout and then flips that into like a 30-year career
Right.
or whatever,
Like, come
But
on.
yeah, no, he's totally that guy. I think he was working at like McDonnell Douglas or something before, like working for the army, or a contractor or something like that.
Wow.
I could be completely wrong on that too, and confusing it with somebody else. But I'm pretty sure that's how that went. And yeah, he and like I guess his buddies were like, yeah, no, you should try out for this thing, and then yeah, no, that was during the shooter era too.
Yeah, and what's funny is I say how, like, when I first saw his earliest works, I didn't really care for it, but at the same time, one of my favorite comics of all time, one of my earliest ones, one I revisited just recently was that What If, the What If issue if the symbiote costume possessed Spider-Man, and
Okay, I don't think I saw that one. Yeah.
it is like one of my most favorite comics of all time because such horrible stuff happened. It's so dark, and then I loved it as a kid, and when I finally found the issue and dug it out and looked at it for the first time in 3 decades, about a year ago, I was like, "This" I remember all these images and all these panels and poses. I'm like, "This is so good." And,
That's something when you remember something as being good, and then you take a look at it like 20, 30 years later, or whatever, and it actually is still good.
you're like, "This" yeah, it just he's so fantastic. So I loved that issue of What If. So I kinda revisited it again. I justify that being like, I looked at this 2 years ago and I maybe had 400 subscribers, and now I've got more. So it's new to some people, and
Yeah.
but yeah, that's some that he drew, and I'm like, I didn't care for his earlier work, but then again, one of my favorite comics is exactly that one right there. So he's got big time skills. He's got to be pretty old by now, right?
I would think so. I think he was in his 30s in the 80s. So could be wrong on that. Gotta check that now. Oh, I'm thinking like 70, 75, but do they have a birthday on him? Oh, not even. Okay, not quite 70. All right, shit, younger than I thought.
Wow, he must have been pretty young when he got in though, then, right?
I guess because that's like, yeah, he would have been like early 20s then.
One of those Joe Mad situations where they're just young and talented and just happen to get picked up and off they go.
Yeah, you saw that in my video from today, right? How fucking young Joe Mad was when he was drawn like a pro.
Yeah, you were looking at that backup story with Mojo, right?
Yeah, so I remember, man, that guy's good, and like, it's like, yeah, that guy's 16.
I know, right? 16 years old. Like, you son of a. Some people just got that
Yeah, man.
natural, like, incredible ability, and you can't fake it and you can't force it. Like, you're like, I'm going to be that good, but if you just don't have that natural thing, you just don't have it.
Yeah, and not a whole lot you can do about it, unfortunately.
Yeah, some people just got that luck, and it's nice to see them capitalize on it and run with it because they should. And you know,
Oh, for sure. It'd be nice if he stuck around in comics a bit more now, but
yeah,
I can't exactly fault the guy for going to video games. I think that's kind of his first love anyway.
yeah. I get kind of I would forgive Joe Mad a lot more. Not that he needs my forgiveness, and no one gives a shit what I think.
Yeah.
But if he would have just finished the goddamn Battle Chaser story before abandoning it and basically abandoning the people that gave him his career.
Did he not finish it? I never. I think I read like 2 or 3 issues of that thing back in the day, and I never really went back to it.
Oh, I really liked it. I didn't care for him too much before that. It was one of those things where this is an artist on a book, like this is what he should be doing. I read his
Yeah.
X-Men stuff and I was like, it's fine, whatever. But suddenly Battle Chasers, I'm like, all right, now I get it. And he went, I can't remember, I think it's issue 9, right at a major cliffhanger story point with like pages drawn for the next issue, and he just
Mm.
stopped and never addressed it for 25 years and had someone else do it.
Oh, okay. Was
Now,
not aware of that.
the guy that he got to do it is really, really good, but he's not Joe Mad. And so, again, I don't begrudge anybody following their dreams. I like he loves video games and that's what he wants to do. Like I get it. Like there's that little part of me that's like, finish the book that you were on. We the fans who buy it and made him into a super wealthy guy are just suddenly left behind so he can go do something else. And it
Yeah.
just it pisses me off because he's got a career the likes of which people would just die to have.
Well, sure. I mean, but the thing is, I mean, I don't know. I wonder how fondly he really looks at comics these days anymore, right? It's not exact like it's tough to kind of like being a big dog in comics doesn't get you a whole lot for one thing. Sure, I don't think it's going to get you rich. Certainly not anymore, anyway.
Well, certain people you do. If you have something that clicks and works, like that Sean Gordon Murphy that's doing that Batman White Knight stuff,
Yeah,
I've
that's
like
true.
seen him post stuff at his house and things that he owns. Like he's a wealthy guy. It seems like comics, like you're saying, you either struggle your entire career or you hit something off big time and you do amazing. And Joe Mad's, I think, one of those guys
Yes.
that would make it 100%. He just
Yeah,
has other interests, which again, I respect it, but I'm mad that he bailed on it right in the middle of a story.
that's fair.
Although I did see an interview with him just recently, like within the last month, he said directly he is drawing a new Battle Chaser story.
All right.
Not that he was thinking about it, but that he's doing it and he's committed to it because now that he's announced it, he has to like follow through or his fans will get pissed off. So I'm excited for that.
I feel like I'm not the only battered housewife around here, man. I don't know.
That is a fair analogy.
The
Like
thing
this
with
time,
comics, it feels like I was gonna say with comics, it feels an awful lot like wrestling, where you're either like one of the top guys who's super rich, or you're barely scraping by and maybe not affording food.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect analogy.
Ah, well, kind of sucks. I'm not good at anything else then. Yeah, this is way too much like regular ass comic book cover. Oh well. We'll finish and then we'll maybe come up with something else, maybe not.
Yeah, Mark Domowitz says there's some guys just out of high school on my Discord channel that are so damn talented. I know at least one of the guys
Uh
he's
huh.
talking about.
Yeah.
Um, this kid, I'm
I
like,
hate going on Instagram just because there's gonna be all sorts of guys who like fucking show me up all the time.
yeah, there is that. But you know what? I this is how I get through life a little bit better when I see all these guys that are way better than I am or ever will be. I'm not concerned personally about the people who are on like Instagram, for example, who have 50,000 followers and all they do are pinups.
Sure, there
Like
is that.
I'm watching the guys who actually draw comic books and tell stories. That's kind of what I judge myself against, if that makes sense. I'm like, yeah, this person can draw the most amazingly beautiful image that I could never hope to match, but I've got a story where I wrote a thing and had something to say and I
Yeah,
followed through on it. And can that person do it? I don't know. Until they do, I don't let it bother me too much.
I do. I try not to, and that's actually the better way to look at it. Yeah, are they producing finished work? But yeah, no, that shit gets to me quite a bit. Oh,
Yeah, I might be deluding
Definitely
myself, but I'm like, well, I'm just leaning into the thing that I know that I'm doing that's not easy.
yeah. Well,
And
it's definitely the better way to look at it. I don't think there's any argument there.
but yeah, like my buddy Mark was saying here, there's a fella, this kid who um showed up and started posting his artwork, and then he started putting together like a short story, and I'm just blown away by his work. I'm like, dude, where did you learn to draw? And he's like, I don't know, I just like to draw. And I'm like, how old are you? And he's like, 18. I was like, you, you're 1,000 times better than I've ever been, and you're just this kid. So I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, make a comic. And then he did. He put together a whole thing that I'm trying to like.
Oh no, you dared him. Shit.
I'm like, I want a
Trying to get
copy
you
of
the
this.
comic.
So make it available, my friend.
Yeah. Did he get? Was he able to get you a copy, or is it just like, no, I made it, and now nobody will ever see it?
He's putting it together. Like if I
Okay.
remember correctly, he is like it's all drawn. He's just kind of working on making copies or kind of putting because I'm like, dude, I guarantee you, if you want, I will show it on the channel. Like there's no question. I want people to see this. So if you make it, I'll show it. And
Yeah.
as far as I know, he's working on because it's all drawn and I think it's lettered and everything. So I'm like,
Yeah.
put it together and let's put eyes on it, man. Let's spread the good word,
Yeah. And if you can get to that point, you might as well.
right? And I know I've been barking up that tree with you ever since, like at least last year. I was like, oh my god, dude, when can I see this? Yeah, I'm working on it. It's all about timing, but and I get it.
I don't know if it's about timing. It's about me being terrified to try something new, mostly. But yeah, no,
I'm glad I
there's a
mentioned
few
it the other
guys.
day.
Yeah.
I'm glad I mentioned it because then you sent me that PDF where I could read it, and I'm like, oh, one of the best reading experiences I've had in like years.
Yeah, I saw somebody saying earlier that you're running like some killer PR for me here, man.
Yeah, hey, I mean for real, like we're all here to help each other out. It's not
For sure.
like Rob Liefeld's going to hire us for anything.
Probably not.
Probably
Probably
not.
not. No. I remember finding out that Eric Stevenson is he's the editor in chief at Image Comics, and I'm like, oh shit.
Right.
Well, that's it for me. Ever working there then?
Like if I ever thought about submitting this to Image Comics, like he might go like, you know what, I like it, and then he searches up your name, he finds your
Yeah.
channel. I've had this same thought in my head too. And then they're like,
Or he
oh,
might see my video where I name him as the greatest villain in Image Comics
oh
history.
my God. He's like, decided to go a different direction, sir. And you're
Yeah,
like, you
we're
saw
gonna
my channel.
pass this time. I'm trying to think of who I've talked shit about more. Rob Liefeld or Eric Stevenson. And it's like, oh, that wasn't smart.
I've had those worries, but I'm like, I'm too old to sit around and hope
Yeah.
for a thing that's never probably going to happen. So I'm like, I'm just going to say what I mean. I'll see if I can't forge my own path at least a little bit, because then I can at least look back and go, I made a thing. I didn't sit around and think about it. I actually did it.
Yeah. It's like, well, that's the thing. It's like I'm in my mid 40s now. I'm thinking if I was gonna have some Deus Ex Machina thing come down out of nowhere and say you are the chosen one. Here is your comic destiny. It probably would have happened by now.
Right.
So I probably gotta get and do stuff.
Yeah, I keep coming back to that line, like Heath Ledger said as the Joker into Batman. It's like, you have nothing to threaten me with because I have nothing anyway. So at this point, like, make
Yeah.
the damn thing. I'm just gonna do it. And
Yeah.
like I think about what if Liefeld does see the little parody book I'm doing, and what if he hates it? All he can do is help me by barking how much he hates it out loud.
That's the thing, right? Like Liefeld hating your shit, I think is probably just a good thing.
But right. Like all you're gonna do is put eyes on it, you know.
Yep.
So, but I also the thing I'm constructing, it's not an insult to him. I actually want him to see it. Like I would actually, I'm constructing a thing that I think he would actually have a chuckle at. Like it's not like
Yeah.
F you, F that, F them. It's just like it's all like parody over the top silliness. But I'm not like calling him out by name. Now that's different if he goes and watches my channel and sees, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But the book I'm making, like I wouldn't be embarrassed to hand it to him.
Sure.
And I think your books would be the same. Like I have to imagine he would read that and go, "All right, that was actually pretty fucking good. That was pretty good, dude."
I wonder if he'd get it. I don't know. It's like, nobody said anything awesome enough. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Like all the blood puns.
Now people do say blood a fair bit. Yeah, no, that might get his attention.
Let's see. Dela Cruz says, "Looks like Rob's drawing Deadlock." I'm drawing the parody character of Deadlock
Mm-hmm.
in my book, whose name is Killsnap. But he is a parody of Deadlock. That is the specific point. So
Yeah.
yes.
It's a cool version too. I like that. Get the oh shit, you got the fucking the bandana trailing off and everything, eh?
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
Because Liefeld's Deadlock character was just like a piss poor version of Wolverine. So that's what this guy is. He's a
Yes.
shit version of Wolverine.
All right, yeah. Might as well. I mean, I, if you make that, then you're probably actually doing better than Rob did with Liefeld did with Deadlock. I feel like he used him the one time and couldn't think of anything to do with him.
Just going back to the comments. Sheldon says that Joe Mad says that he draws way slower now too.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. I mean, he's like 50 now. I guess I can see it.
And I don't care how slow he is, just as long as he draws it. If it takes him a year to draw a 24-page comic, fine. I don't, whatever. Just
Yeah. No,
make the thing.
fair.
Yeah. Like I'm willing to wait quite a while is if I just know that they're going to produce.
Yeah. No, I've said before with superstar guys, like you know, I don't particularly care about a schedule. Just put stuff out sometimes. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I actually like the idea I came up with a while back, where you have two superstar guys on a book, and basically they just trade off and on issues, back and forth. So they each get 2 months to work on whatever their next issue is.
Right.
I think that would do some good sales. Probably.
Sorry if you hear this grinding in the background. It's me trying to sharpen my damn pencil, but the lead keeps breaking.
Oh yeah, yeah. Always fun. That was a running thing on mine for a while too.
All right. I'm going to put that aside. Sheldon
giving
said it
giving
took
the podcast
Sylvester
a show on
8 to 9 years to draw Deadly Duo. I actually have a little bit of insider information on that, sort of. It
Oh
didn't
yeah.
take him that long. About 2 years ago, it was either 2 or 3 years ago, I was at my local comic convention here, and sitting directly across from me was former Top Cow inker Matt Banning, Bat.
All right.
And
Yeah.
so I'm like, I gotta go fucking say hi to him. He was by himself. And so I walked over. I'm like, hey dude, I just want I got to come say hi. I've followed your inking and you're a great artist. And he was really nice and really personable. And he worked with Silvestri directly, and he was talking about how Warner Brothers was buying DC or something like that. And so
Ah.
Silvestri had a contract worked out with DC, but then like Warner Brothers, is that right? Is that who owns DC now? Is Warner Brothers, right?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, so now suddenly Warner Brothers picks up all the contracts that DC had already put in place. And Bat was saying, Warner Brothers didn't see the point in honoring what they had agreed to do with Silvestri, because they're like, what the fuck has he done in the last several years? They're like, we'll honor
Yeah.
stuff for Greg Capullo because this guy pumps stuff out all the time. And so
Uh-huh.
he basically was saying that Silvestri had stopped working on or had drawn it, but just sat on it until they gave him the deal he wanted. So it wasn't that it took him 9 years to draw it. It was like
Yeah.
business deals.
I imagine it's probably like that more often than we know.
Probably, because he's like, I'm a big time artist and I'm going to be a big draw. And they're like, yeah, art, you know. And so again, that came right from Matt Banning, and really nice guy.
You can probably trust that. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, I don't know, I don't know how much direct knowledge he has, but
I mean, honestly, he's the guy whose name you always see associated on Top Cow books, right? I trust him as much as anybody. I think.
right. Yeah. So he's like that. In fact, he was like, that's why you'll never see that book. Because he's like, because Silvestri's holding out to get a deal he feel is more equitable to him, like he feels like it should be. So that it's been
Yeah.
done forever. But then I guess somehow some deal was worked out or whatever happened, and then they made the book and put it out. So yeah, I don't think it was a matter of Silvestri being slow, just it was business.
Yeah. I imagine Sylvester could probably still go if he wants, like pretty quick, but or at least quicker than some of the guys like his peers. But
Yeah.
I don't know. You've seen his stuff on like the newer Cyberforce stuff. What was that like?
I'm sorry, what's that?
You saw his newer Cyberforce stuff, right? The after he rebooted it a couple times.
Uh, I guess it depends on which rebooted version was are we talking about.
Oh man, I don't know.
Right, yeah, that's the thing.
I thought I was saying some shit when it was like I knew some shit when I said the time he rebooted. I honestly have no idea how many times he's done it.
I can think of at least two times for sure.
Oh yeah,
And one of them, I just found the issues digging through my comics where he had Pat Lee drawing like it was like 5 or 6 issues of this like rebooted version of Cyberforce. And I'm like,
yeah,
this is not no, this sucks. Uh, Pat Lee is not this is not what I see in Cyberforce.
yeah. I remember picking up a trade at one point when I was getting back into comics, and it's like, oh shit, Mark Silvestri's still doing Cyberforce. That's kind of awesome. And then got the trade, and he did the cover, and it was
Right.
somebody else on the inside. It might be that one.
It's like
And
I'm
it's,
here for
I don't think I
Sylvester.
ever read it. I'm not buying Cyberforce for the writing. I don't care who's writing it.
Yeah, I'm here for
That was.
Silvestri. I'm here for Joe Mad's work on Battle Chasers. I'm here for, I mean, as when it like I was there for Liefeld's art, not all his bad imitators.
Yep. It's funny. There's a guy I talked to on my Patreon who was I don't know. He's like a regular in Liefeld communities, and he was like I don't know. He was kind of the opinion that like Rob Liefeld can't really tell the difference between like good art and bad art. You know,
Boy, he would
and
ban you from his social medias if he dared if he heard you say
I
that.
know I'd be a pariah. I'd never work in this town again.
I know.
Never make another dollar from comics. But like he'd be like talking about looking through his old Wolverines and shit because there was like a thing about great like some list about great Wolverine artists or something, and Liefeld was listed on there somehow
Right.
because he's
Yes.
got like he's done a couple of Wolverine things, I guess.
Yeah, he did a Wolverine run.
Well, he did like a couple of issues of Marvel Comics Presents, right?
He did. Yeah, I know. I mean, just that backup story and the ones that you were talking about, but
Yeah.
he did do a
Oh, he actually
Wolverine
worked
run.
on Wolverine. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. I don't think I was aware of that.
yeah. I mean, of course, he had Deadpool and Cable all show up, but he did a Wolverine run.
All right.
Because he says Wolverine is his favorite Marvel comics and maybe any character ever is Wolverine. So he's
Well,
like,
I'm sure
I
it's
do the
most
best
badass. Of course it
Wolverine.
is. Well, that was the thing. Was that like he didn't like that he was being compared to other people or something, and saying like Jim Lee on his best day draws as cool a Wolverine as me.
I saw him say
It's like,
exactly that.
and it's like I beg your fucking pardon.
I beg your fucking pardon. Yeah,
Like
I know.
there's
I saw that.
delusional, and then there's just like
Yeah.
I don't even know if we're talking the same language right now.
Yep, I saw that exact quote too. He said exactly that. I draw just as good a Wolverine as Jim Lee, but people got those X-Men blinders on and they just can't see it. And so it's like, so people can't have an opinion that he's good and you're not, and you can't just be okay with that. If you would just roll off and like, I know people got opinions, that's fine.
Well,
I'd be
I
like,
think it's
okay,
just like what if it's like public opinion? What if it's like the majority public opinion?
right?
Is that a problem?
Yeah. Well, he likes
It's
to
like
scream at the
that's the kind
top of
of
his
thing that
lungs. He likes to
yeah.
put out there that he's the artist on the best-selling issue of Avengers of all time.
What the Heroes Reborn shit?
Yep. Sales wise,
Okay.
no issue of Avengers has ever surpassed that. And he's like, yeah.
Okay.
And he's like, that's validation. But I'm like, but that misses so much of the nuance of the conversation of the hype
Well, yeah. I
of
mean,
the
like,
hype
it's
machine.
not like people were really stoked about that particular Avengers story.
Yeah, no one ever references the story as like that was one of the best written Avengers stories. It's never on anybody's lips as a great story. It's
Yeah.
just that because of the hype of Liefeld and Lee returning to Marvel, shops ordered 1 billion of them. So yes,
Uh
it's
huh.
the highest selling issue of Avengers ever. Yes, but there's nuance to that conversation.
Well, see, that's the problem right there. The nuance is not, nuance and Liefeld are not acquainted.
Liefeld should create a character called Nuance and just have him be the dumbest asshole ever.
just just have him be like some overpowered, like power blasting guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, you need to run with that in your book.
That's not bad. That's not bad. I might do
Good.
that.
Nuance.
But like
Oh,
that's the thing. him saying that about the Wolverine thing was what made me start thinking about like him hyping up like Extreme Studios as being like some of the best comics and all that shit. And it's like maybe he can't tell, like maybe he honestly doesn't know. He actually believes the shit he's saying. It's like I don't know.
I mean, he's not wrong. For a stretch of time, his studio was a major part of the market share. Yes, that's
Okay,
true. But
and that's how he measures success. Yes.
speculator boom.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you measure success, right? Like the best books are not the highest sellers. Sometimes they are, absolutely, but
Well, that's something you'll never convince him of. Yeah.
yeah. And to be fair, he's taken so much shit from so many people, whether it's self-imposed or not.
Yeah.
He's just got his shields up, and he's not going to hear anything from anybody ever.
Yeah. No, the way I figure it is that when like shit like social media got started, he got inundated with people realizing they could reach out to Rob and tell him to draw some feet or something,
Yeah,
and he just decided that they're all haters and I'm always right.
yeah. And I mean, he
It's like
bans from his social medias people who are actually big fans of his and
yeah,
say the
and
most
well, if they don't say the
innocuous,
right thing, yeah,
yeah, the most innocuous thing. Like one guy just kind of corrected him on the timetable of something. He's like, I don't need this kind of hate. Bam, out of there. And the guy's like, wait, what?
yep.
Did you follow that controversy of that guy who won that cover contest?
I did see that. I saw the initial thing anyway.
That was like so far beyond Liefeld being out of line. I can't believe it. And then his like sycophant followers just lapping up his nonsense. The artist just literally said, Liefeld was putting out his new issue of Youngblood, and this guy's contest entry was going to be a cover to an issue of Youngblood somewhere.
Yep.
And so he just asked, "Hey, is my cover going to be part of this issue?" And Liefeld said, "Nope." And so then the guy writes back, "Is or I can't remember his exact wording, but he's like, could you
Yeah,
any
he just
idea
wanted to know what issue it was going to be a part of. Yeah.
just can you will it be when will it be part of any issue?" And Liefeld said, "Nope." Nope. Just like that. No nuance. No, like, it'll be something a little bit later. We're still working on when that'll happen. And like, okay, great. All I needed to know. The guy just asked, will it be part of anything? And he just said no.
Mm-hmm.
So then the guy was like, well, I
Okay, so
guess I
this.
didn't expect you to follow through anyway. So thanks anyway. And then now it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, nuclear bomb. This guy's an idiot. He's a hater. I'm done with him. He's blocked from my social medias for just asking the most basic, like, is this going to be part of this? And he's like, and he just says no.
Yep.
Like, it was such perfect, like, absolute bullshit on the part of Liefeld for this guy who is a massive fan and was just
Yeah.
asking about the contest he won.
Yeah. And he had a pretty good cover too.
It looked really good.
Yeah.
Even Brett Booth showed up on his Twitter page and said,
I
Liefeld
saw
just
that. Yeah.
doesn't want you showing him up.
Yeah. And that's the funny thing. It's just like I didn't make up this contest, right? I did actually win this thing.
And it's
It's
like,
like
it's
yeah, no.
been forever. And I'm just like, you're hyping up a new issue. Is my thing going to be on this? Nope. Is it going to be on any of them? He says, nope. Like, all right, well, fuck my dreams.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, that was one of the weirder controversies because it's like I don't know if he had said something to piss him off, would at least have been true to form for Liefeld, but to just kind of start out the gate with, oh yeah, forget everything I ever said about that.
Yeah, it
It's a
was.
little confusing.
But then the thing that made me most angry is like all his fanboys were like, "Yeah, that artist is stupid. I can't believe he dared to say that." And I'm like, he didn't say anything wrong. He just asked very nice. He says, "I'm very excited. Just curious, will this
Hmm.
be the issue where my cover is used?" And all I got was a no. So then I asked, "Well, when will it?" And all I got was a no.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
again, all
frustrating.
all his fanboys are like, "Man, that guy's so stupid." Like, why? Why is he stupid?
Yeah. No, the whole. Yeah, but, yeah, and I've been lucky, I think, so far not to have to really deal with too many Liefeld fanboys. Like
You lucky enough
I've
to
seen a
deal
few.
with
I've
what?
seen a few guys. I've been lucky so far not to have to deal with too many Liefeld fanboys, but like they do seem like a bit of an angry mob.
Had a few show up and they're like, "You're just jealous and you're stupid." And they're like, "Why don't you make something?" And I'm like, "Have you watched my channel?
Hmm.
I literally do make something.
Yeah.
And I invite them, come on and tell me my shit sucks and tell me why. Maybe I'll learn something." But they never come back.
Well, I mean, if they had to, if they could tell you why, they could tell you why they like life. I don't think they could even do that. I feel like I've been at least a little bit lucky so far in that, like I'll get some guys who like Liefeld and don't trashing his stuff, but they're, usually fairly self-aware,
Sure.
and they'll,
Bad guys show up, they're like, "I get your point, but I still like him." And I'm like, I get it. Like, no one has to explain why you like or dislike. Like, I enjoy Liefeld's older stuff, flaws and weirdness and all. It's just his stuff today, it's beyond inexcusably lazy. It's just everyone jumping through the air with no backgrounds, punching faceless monsters over and over and over.
pretty much.
Yeah, Sheldon. Eric Ninotowski is the winner's name.
That's it.
I saw that he got that book colored and it looked really good. It's like that looks like a fun superhero team. I want to watch more of these guys.
Mm. Oh no, it was all right. It looked pro, which I don't know how often you can even say that about Liefeld covers. So nope.
I think I need a new pencil sharpener.
Is that one dying?
All right. Let me lose the light box. Oh, it's driving me nuts. The pencil lead keeps snapping. This is the problem with using old school traditional tools.
Uh-huh. Always breaking down on you. Yeah,
What
fuck's
the
sake.
goddamn lead on my pencil keeps snapping after I pull it out of the pencil sharpener. Now, this pencil, it's an electronic pencil sharpener. It's probably 2 decades old at least. So maybe the grinder is just worn down and it's snapping the lead. I just need to go buy a new one.
Probably. I mean, that's everything kind of made to be replaced now. You holding on that long is probably being unpatriotic or something.
I really like seeing how light you keep your pencils before you go right to inking.
Yeah, I used to do like I don't know, like reasonably intense pencils where you'd like actually like figure out some of the shading and everything beforehand. But I find the more I do this, the less like the less patience I get before I was like, ah, fuck it, just make it permanent. Why not?
That's what I used to do, but since I started working with Chuck, I've kind
Yeah,
of gotten into leaving more finished pencils, and I've kind of
way to
learned to
do it.
kind of like to do it, actually.
I don't, I'll never say that it's not the best way to go.
I think what you're
But
doing there and the way that I was doing it before too is like, for lack of a better term, it trains you to get better quicker because you're just going right into it, and you got to learn what works right now, you know, and you kind of get a
yeah,
sense of it immediately. So I think there's value to what you're doing for sure.
maybe I think the best way to go, like I don't know, in turn to get the best comics is almost certainly heavy pencils, like like laborious pencils, quick inks, so that you can
Yeah.
like work out everything beforehand and then like still go in quick with the inks to get like some energy to them. So I'm not doing it
I think it
myself,
also just
but
kind of depends on the
it's
person.
just a theory, really. Probably. And it depends what you're trying to get out of it too, right? But just for like action comics, that seems like a good way to go because you get all that detail in there, but if you're going in pretty quick with the inks, you're keeping the energy high, and you're keeping the you know you're throwing lines around so it doesn't all get kind of stolid. Just kind of sit on the page there. Again, just a theory because I certainly haven't ever practiced it. Yeah, man, that's looking badass. That looks Sam Keith inspired a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's that?
I would say that looks badass. That's looking like Sam Keith inspired somewhat. I like
Oh,
that a lot.
ironically, yeah, this is another one of those ironic things about me is that this, as much as I rag on Liefeld stuff, this I end up doing homages or inspirations on some of his stuff. This is a old school Liefeld Wolverine gallery pinup kind of pose.
Okay, okay, yeah,
I can see what you're talking about with the Sam Keith inspiration. That wasn't didn't even cross my mind until you said it, but I
just
see.
the size of the of all of that is kind of awesome.
Right. Yeah, yeah. I see what you mean. Um, yeah, Sam Keith has that way of drawing where it's like hyper exaggerated, cartoony, but then he renders it with the shadows to like almost a super, I don't want to say photorealistic level, but kind of.
Yeah, yeah,
And
where he's going like super fine lines and getting values and everything. Yeah,
yeah, especially on the muscle and the definition of it in the inking. And so it's such a weird dynamic of uh cartoony yet realism.
yeah, or like heavily detailed cartoon. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like, does anybody else do that?
I don't know. I and actually
Trying to
that
think
got
of
me
because
thinking. I meant to ask you because you were saying in your video today, and I didn't know about this, that Sam Keith hurt his hand or something, and he can't draw the way he
yeah,
used to.
yeah. well, sometime in like the early '90s. I don't know when exactly. I would guess honestly, probably around the time of the Marvel Comics Presents story I did the video on today, because he was just going super hard on it. And like he had like that death grip, that the death grip you get on pens and shit, right? And he had to completely change how he held the pen. Like he had like I know there's pictures of Sam Keith out there, and you see him with what looks like it like kind of a pen, only it's like a gigantic marshmallow pen because he like added layers with tape, because that would somehow help him. I don't know what the deal is,
Yeah,
but
I've seen artists take their utensils and wrap it up super thick, and I've heard of that, but I didn't know that Sam Keith had some kind of a situation where he had some kind of something that affected him like that. That was news to me.
that's what I understand. I couldn't tell you where I heard that. I've probably heard that in Uncle Jerk's. Uncle Jerk did a series of documentary videos about Sam Keith. Sam Keith was his guy. I'm pretty sure I heard it there. I hope it did anyway, because now I'm like, I didn't make that up, right? I was like, I don't think I did. But yeah, no. From what I understand, and he never tried to do that kind of detail again. If you look at the Max, like it gets cartoonier the further it goes, and it gets more into like painting and shit, which is like different grips and stuff for your hand.
Yeah. Sam Keith even
I
doing
mean,
these days? Does he still draw?
I have no idea. I think he's kind of a bit of a recluse. Um, I think the last thing I heard him doing there was like a Wolverine Batman thing or something. I
Really?
remember that. No. Or maybe it was shit. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember the last thing he did.
Or somebody in the chat
It
might
was
have an
a while ago.
idea.
Probably.
Yeah, does anybody in the chat know like what's Sam Keith up to? And is he around? Does he draw? Is he just hiding out, just doing whatever he wants in life? I'd be really curious to know.
The last credit he's got on Wikipedia for DC is Batman slash the Max, which is interesting. I think that's the last thing, and that was 2018.
That's even sooner, more recent than I would have thought. I kind of stopped following. Well, I mean, I was gonna say I stopped following him, but that's not exactly true. It's just he stopped doing things,
Yeah.
and then
And
you
you have
kind of
to
lose
figure
track.
out about it when he comes back. Yeah.
Yeah, in the world of like things happening that um, I never thought would. Um, like I constantly talk about when I'm talking about certain artists on the channel. I'm like, I just want to see McFarlane draw Spider-Man one more time. Like, please, it'll never happen. But as long as he's alive, it's not an impossible scenario because he's alive. Or Jim Lee
Who
draw
knows?
X-Men again. Like, I want to see. I want what I want. The heart wants what the heart wants, even if it's stupid. But Jay Lee has a new like creator-owned comic coming out.
All right.
Have you heard about this?
I don't think so. No.
I saw some
Is it
advertisement
Hellshock?
for it, and I went and looked it up, and I got my comic shop, got it on hold for whenever it comes out, sometime here in the next few months. I'm like, this is something I never thought I'd see. Like Jay Lee, like what has even he been doing? I wish he drew the way he used to, but he still draws really good. So I'm like, I could give it a shot because again, it's a creator-owned thing, which I don't think he's done since the massive failure that was Hellshock.
Yeah.
And then David Finch's new book coming out with Robert Kirkman, the Skin Breaker.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
That I'm looking forward to because he's been spending years on that thing, from what I understand.
All right. Yeah, yeah. I know he hasn't done actual comics for a long time now.
And have you seen the pictures of David Finch holding up the original art for that Skin Breaker book?
haven't seen that.
Holy shit. It's it's like poster board size.
Okay, shit. All right.
Like
I
more
might
than
want to
that
make sure you
price
get the
up
detail
stuff.
one.
It's huge. I think if you just look them up on Instagram, it would be a post not too far back. Like these are massive pages. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh my god, this looks interesting. So there's like, and that with like Battle Beast coming out from Image Comics from Kirkman and Otley. Um,
yeah.
there's like a few comics coming out that are new that I'm actually excited to get.
Oh, fuck, I always forgot. You can't search up David Fincher. You get the director.
Oh, um, yeah.
That's okay. That's cool though that you got some stuff you're actually excited about these days. I feel like that doesn't happen a lot anymore.
Yeah, David Finch art. Yeah, that's what it is.
David Finch. Yes, that's it. God damn it.
Um, why is it not showing anything? I know it's out there. Let's do Google search it.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up after. I think.
God, you think it would just come right up? Oh, there we go. How about that right there?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think I saw something with it, and it looked pretty great.
Yeah. I mean, this thing he's
Like,
holding, I mean, I don't know if they're like two boards put together or what, but man,
if it's a
he's
double
going
page
all in on
spread,
that detail.
if it's a double page spread, that looks about right. But yeah, that is insane.
No, not for like 11 by 17.
Yeah, I mean, like the image size, maybe. It feels like maybe he got like 17 by whatever, like 22 or something, and then just said, "Okay, this
Yeah.
is my double page spread paper."
Yeah, there's another shot. There he is holding like the pile of the original artwork. Like,
Yeah,
but it's like it's all that double size. It's not there's not one 11 by 17 single page in that massive stack he's holding right there. It's all like massive sized board. So I'm like, well, I can't wait to see this thing.
that does look like it's worth checking out. I'm across the border. I'm just looking at the chat. What border? The Canadian border? Oh, was there tape in the middle? Okay, okay. He says there's tape in the middle. All right. I'll take his word for it. I didn't get a good look, so I'll have to check it out later. I'll have to verify.
Now it's always a question of what the hell do I want to put in the background, or if I just want to like put a bunch of smoke and rocky debris. Such an easy bullshit way out of a background.
It is, but it always works too.
It kind of does. That's the thing. If you do it right.
Yeah. I mean, you can draw like a ruined city in the background if you want. That'd be kind of awesome. I won't lie.
Right?
Or you can draw rocks and like it's like that might look kind of awesome too.
It both is awesome. Or you
How
could
much
do like
time do
some
you want to
artists
spend on
and
the awesome, really?
you could do some artists what some artists do and just draw nothing and let the colorist fill it in.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard of that. Yeah.
Right? That artist's name is on the tip of my tongue.
Oh, that's okay. I'm sure Chad will remind us sometime.
Well, I'm gonna step away from my phone for just 2 seconds.
You got it, man. Fuck, that shit looks badass.
Anyway, sorry, I'm back. I don't know if anyone missed me.
No problem. No problem. We had a few people watching. We had a few people for the whole stream, really. It's been doing all right.
Mitch's artwork reminds me of the Marvel Masterpiece trading cards. There you go.
I'll take that. Thanks, man. Yeah, saw that.
You ever had anybody say that your artwork reminds them of someone that they like, but you're like, I hate that person. I don't want my artwork to look like that.
I don't know. I don't think so. You got somebody in mind for you, or because now I'm
um,
interested.
I, I, I just somebody not too long ago said that my work reminded them of something, and I can't remember what it was. And it wasn't like an insult, but I was like, that's not at all what
Okay.
I see. I'm like, oh,
I don't have. Yeah, I've never been influenced by that person. I don't know why you would ever say that.
I don't know what you're talking about. Again, it was meant as a
No, I
compliment. I took it as such, but I was like, I don't see that at all. It was like way out of the left field.
yeah. No, I kind of hope somebody says that now. I could try working up a response for that.
Right? Like your art reminds me of Sergio Aragonés. I'm like, well, wait, what?
Oh, in
I
what
like
way?
that, but that's not at all what I do.
Yeah. Or even like Klaus Janson. It's like I don't think I see that, but thank you.
Yeah,
You know.
I know it was meant as a compliment, so I will take it as such. But
Sure.
sure.
Now I'm like obsessing about who Cedric Nacone would have told would have shown your videos to.
Oh, I would love to know
You
that
gotta
so much.
you gotta find that out, man.
I kind of get the sense. I don't know why I think this, but I would imagine he'd probably be kind of tight-lipped, like I ain't gonna like put names out there. But just the fact is, like, I show this to some other people, and they all kind of have a good chuckle at it. So I'm like, there's a group of people out there that are professional that like are quietly like, yeah, and we're sick of
Yeah,
him too, and we worked for him, but they don't want to say it out loud because they got something to lose because they're probably, trying to maintain an audience and or something, so they don't want to publicly
yeah.
say anything.
Well, I mean, they probably built an audience based off of trying to draw at least a bit like Liefeld if they previously worked with him.
Yeah.
So there's that too. I get that.
I also I got to keep it vague, but and it's
Okay.
not who you okay, this has nothing to, I work with Chuck, but this has nothing to do with him. When I'm going to say that I know a guy who knows a professional guy. I want to make sure I'm
Okay.
like, it's not Chuck that I know, but this other guy that I know, he knows another professional guy
Yep.
that's worked with Liefeld. And I
Okay.
was like, do you think there's be any chance you could ask him if he'd like throw up a sketch we could turn into a variant cover for my comic? And he's like, I don't know. I think he's still kind of in good standing with Liefeld. Like I still think he likes him. I was like, oh, okay. Well, never mind.
Okay. No.
But
Yeah.
like, I'd be dumb to not ask, but this guy knows him directly, like sees him on a daily basis.
For sure. Yeah.
So
And
I
you
was like,
gotta know that as soon if Liefeld ever got wind that he was any of his friends were like watching anything that badmouthed him, they'd be out the door.
yeah, they go nuclear. Now, this other guy is
Yeah.
out of comics completely. Like, he doesn't care about comics anymore at all. But
Yeah.
he's still in good standing as far as I know, and this other guy knows with Liefeld. He's like, I don't know. I mean, he's like, it's not impossible to imagine, but I don't know. I said, and don't worry about it. Like, I don't want to, I'm not trying to ruffle anybody's feathers over anything.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh man, that would be such a big get. If I could have squeezed a variant cover out of them. Oh my god, that would have been amazing. I'll tell you like privately after the
Yeah.
fact.
Appreciate it. Hey, you're my inside source now. Awesome. So do you find that these days you're talking to guys that you never would have expected you would have, like, you know, names you like would have recognized back in the day?
I oh shoot. I say hold on 1 second. Sorry, say that one more time.
I was saying, like, do you find that you're these days you've talked to a couple of people you never would have expected to, like names you would have recognized back in the day?
It's happened a little bit. Like obviously, working with Chuck is one thing for sure.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I've had Dan Panosian comment on. I've reviewed two of his books, and he's commented on both of them.
Oh, that's sick.
Joseph Weems said
Yeah.
thanks, appreciate it when I shouted out his inks over a Liefeld drawing, and then Frank Cho commented on that video that I did of his book.
Jesus Christ.
So I've got a couple of people that watch, and then of course Cedric Nocon just like I watch your channel.
Yeah.
I was going through my I noticed that on my phone I could look at who follows me on YouTube, and I saw I think it was Chance Wolf follows me.
Really?
He was a inker over Valentino, and then he's
Yeah.
worked for
Yeah.
Liefeld, I think even to this day.
Shadowhawk Inker for sure.
Yeah. And I assume it's him. He's never commented, but it says
Yeah.
Chance Wolf. You know what I mean? I'm like,
It's
I
like, how
so
many chance wolves are there going to be? Yeah.
right, right. That's exactly it. So yes, there's been a few instances. And then, like we were saying, I'm like, occasionally, I'm like, God, if am I going to piss off somebody that I really wish I hadn't
Yeah.
when I'm just on one of my like random like bullshit rants about how crappy this art looked. I always try to like, I mean, I think you're kind of the same. I always try to like I'm not talking about the human being behind the work. I'm just talking about the
Yeah.
work they did more than 3 decades ago when they were 18 years old and don't know shit. And I just have
Yeah.
to imagine that if there any of these artists who still take art seriously doesn't look at what they did when they were 18 and go, God, it sucked. Like,
Yeah.
that's not on me.
No, I bet you Rob doesn't do that. Liefeld.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
point
But
taken.
yeah, no, I know what you mean.
That's really funny. But yeah, I just so I have tried, occasionally tried to like going to be a little more careful what I say, but I'm also like I don't want to suddenly be inauthentic. I don't want to be
Yes.
like a fake kiss ass. Like I'm like, no, I'm going to tell you what I think. I get some people that chime in and be like, why do you only talk about shit that you hate? If you don't like it, why don't you talk about stuff that you love? And I'm like, I do
Yeah.
often, but
You didn't click on those. Nobody clicked on
yeah,
those.
no one clicks on the shit where I talk nice. Go watch my video on Tom Strong. You'll hear me gush over it for an hour. Um,
Yeah.
and again, some people get so emotionally invested in shit that they loved as a kid. I'm like, I did too. And I'm talking about the stuff that I bought as a kid. And at the time I liked it, but I'm just looking at it objectively right now. Like, and also I make the stuff. So it's not just I'm just a casual reader with nostalgia. Like I make these things too. And so I take the art form seriously, and I imagine you're the same way. So it's like we're trying to make good stuff. I think I'll feel like I've really made it if anybody ever at some point puts one of my comics down in front of their channel and just tears it apart, tells their audience what a god awful pile of crap it is. I'm like, yes,
What a great
I've
day that
made
would be,
it.
eh?
I would love to see just randomly somebody sit down, issue one of my Master's End, and just have them go, this clown ruined the property with this bullcrap fan fiction. Look at how crappy it is. Look how dumb it is. Look how violent it is. I'm like, I actually want to see that happen, like organically. So
That'd be so
who
good,
knows?
man. Just be like, I was doing these videos before you were even thinking about it. But yeah, no, just the idea of like, yeah, somebody tear that would be fun. The nitpicker thing.
Like my brother, we've even talked about like we should just review each other's comics and just talk about how crappy they are. But we're like, no, that's no one would get the joke. It would be funny to us. Like I want to like
Yeah.
get out my brother's books and just shit on him. But I don't mean that, but it's funny to me and him. But we're like, no, let's not do that. Because I don't want to put out the wrong idea. I want people to like actually like them.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking, oh, we should do that, and then it's like, no, I don't think I'd be comfortable doing that.
Again, yeah, that would be funny. That'd be like, oh, wouldn't that be fun if we just like we should create a fake internet beef where like Mitch
Oh
and
man,
Rob hate each other. Then we'll like look at each other's books and just shit on them. And then right
that
at
might
the end, to
boost up
go,
our numbers, man.
yeah, right. Yeah, what if it suddenly boosted things? But then right at the end of the
Yeah.
video of us like shitting on each other's works, we like, this is where you can find their Patreon. This is where their socials are. And go find his links right here.
Yep.
And people would be like, wait,
Like, comment, and subscribe, everybody.
yeah, I thought you hated this guy. Like,
See, you thought that, eh?
Like fake internet beefs, that could work. That could be like, oh man, Rob and Mitch are just going at each other. like, and like before I get started on this new comic of Savage Dragon, Mitch and Bloodthirst, like, be like, oh man, they really
Stupid
got him.
fucking comic. Yeah.
It's funny in theory.
Yeah, it's a fun idea.
Oh. In the chat, Toasty says AR, AI art or real human art. There's only one answer to that question.
I mean, you're people who are drawn like with fucking sticks on paper,
Right?
man.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to be like, oh, AI all the way. I am sick of doing this. I just rather have a computer generate it.
Yeah. Nah, man.
I
For
am
real.
getting
You
sick
you
of
draw.
AI because I keep finding videos online. I'm like, oh my God, oh, wait. Oh, this is fake. Like, it's getting hard to know.
Yeah.
Hell, I even find
Yeah, man.
interviews with people where, like, they'll have like a sports star behind a microphone and just going on this insane rant. I'm like, how did they say this? And I'm like, oh, it's not real. This is kind of frightening.
Okay. Yeah. I have seen that once or twice. Yeah, and that is like, okay, that's the world we're stepping into. That's awesome. Yeah. But I don't know. We want to live in a world that's whatever the fuck we're using AI for. Everybody wants it quite a bit. I don't know what they want it for exactly.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the use of AI is except to dumb down people's ability to think.
Well, there's SEO, right? So there's that. The
What is it?
search
What?
engine optimization.
Oh,
Search engine optimization.
okay.
Yep. So that's the thing. It's good for that. Probably.
Sure. I won't lie.
Never
There's
had
been
it.
a few times where I'm like, oh man, I would just love to be able to like take a image that I've done of my characters and pump them into an AI thing to watch them move around a little bit because it's the closest I'll ever get to seeing it animated. Like it's crossed my mind, but so
I mean,
far
you
I've
can do that now. I think.
what's that?
I think you can do that now, where you can like, yeah, just like draw a still image and then pump it into AI and have them do like, like a Street Fighter bouncing back and forth kind of thing.
Right, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I've thought about that because that would be kind of cool, but I'm like, but then that's like supporting a thing that drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Did you see the AI generated Youngblood movie?
No.
I mean, it's more like a trailer, but it's just AI
Oh,
generated,
okay.
and some parts of
I've
it
seen a
look.
lot of those AI trailers. I haven't seen that one though. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, you get a chance, just search it up. It's out there. Somebody created a Wildcats one that I haven't seen yet. I just saw it, and somebody's like, "Oh my God, look at this Wildcats trailer!" But I did see the Youngblood one because Liefeld shared it on his page, and a bunch of people were, yelling at him. I'm like, "Fuck AI, man! Don't support that." But like, it had Chapel riding around on a motorcycle, like, and he looked exactly correct. Black guy, big vest, guns, and like a painted face that looked scary. I was like,
All right.
that looks incredibly awesome. Then I'm like,
There's
wait,
no way Liefeld's not going to get in on that. Yeah.
again, that's where I saw is him sharing it. He's like, look at this AI generated Youngblood movie trailer. I'm like, it did look kind of neat. I think the
I
worst
mean,
part, the part that looked
the
worst
AI's
was
going to take over anyway, so it doesn't matter whether or not I think we support it.
that's a good point. I think you're exactly right. It's there and it's going to just blow up and become what it is, no matter what we think. So
I think so.
we just keep doing what we're doing anyway and let the chips fall where they may, right?
Pretty much. Besides, there's the whole thing of if the AI apocalypse happens, and the AI decides to take over, and who knows, maybe they'll decide that us to, railing against them was working against their interests and coming back and eliminate us. You never know, right? So just, just gotta try and get along as well as you can.
Right. Trying to see the silver lining in the AI machine takeover.
You gotta look a little is all.
Like I, for one, would like to welcome our new machine overlords. As a valued member of the art community, I would just like to say that you remember that episode? That's just a riff on a episode of Simpsons where
I voted for Kronos. Yeah.
I think it was where Homer went to space, right? And
Yeah.
um,
Go
ants got
ahead,
away, and
throw
so they're
your
looking
vote
at,
away.
yeah. Oh man.
I think I'm getting close to winding down, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna have to be about done here.
All right.
You could see where I took my blue pencil sketch from there and then turned it into a mostly finished pencil drawing that I can ink up on another live stream. So I've given myself
Yeah,
future content to draw to.
no, that's a fun shit. Yeah, glad to have helped you out there.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, this is because again, I sat down, I had no idea what I was gonna do. I'm like, I don't have anything that I don't know. Let's just fuck it. Let's just draw a big muscly guy showing his claws and flexing his ass cheeks.
It usually works.
It does,
It's,
right?
it's usually the it's usually the move. So.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll turn it off here then. Thanks again for stopping in, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. This was a lot of fun. I really appreciate it. Thanks for asking me, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. No, I enjoyed the hell out of this. All right. I'll see you around, man.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Bye, everybody.